Welcome everyone to Digital Learning by the Department of Collegiate Education. In today's session, that is session number 27 and session number 28, let us discuss what is Consumer Price Index, its meaning, uses, what are the methods of calculating Consumer Price Index, and let us look at two or three problems as to how to solve them. Consumer Price Index, also known as CPI, it is mainly designed to study the effect of changes in prices on the working class families or consumers. If we want to know the total expenditure of a family, taking any past period as it may be as the base, it is known as cost of living index. What are the uses of consumer price index? Number one, to serve as an economic indicator. The consumer price index is a measure of the inflation faced by the end user. It can determine the purchasing power of rupee or income. Second, naming the wage policies, income policies, price policies, rent control, taxation, and various general economic policies. Third, it provides a cost of living adjustments which are useful in wage negotiations and settlements. The wages are adjusted and dearness allowances are announced on the basis of these indices. So these are some of the uses of consumer price index. And there are broadly two methods of computing consumer price index. Consumer price index is also known as cost of living index. The first method is aggregate expenditure method. P01 is equal to sigma P1 Q0 divided by sigma P0 Q0 into 100. In simple words, this formula is nothing but the last pairs index formula which we have already solved in the previous sessions. And the second method is the family budget method, which is sigma RW divided by sigma W, wherein R indicates the price relatives, which is P1 divided by P0 into 100, and W are the weights, which is P0 into Q0. So these were the basics of consumer price index. In the next session number 28, we shall try to solve two or three problems. So that's all for this particular session number 27. This is session number 28, and in this session, let us try to look at how to solve problems on consumer price index. Problem 1, it says compute the cost of living index, also known as consumer price index, for the following data, taking the base year as 1991 using weighted aggregative method and family budget. Have been given different items: food, clothing, fuel, and miscellaneous, and they're given as the quantity, which is denoted by Q, 40, 10, 20, and 30, price, which is P0, 4, 20, 12, 8, and the prices of the current year 1998, which is 8, 32, 18, and 10. So the formula for aggregative price index using the aggregative expenditure method is CPI is equal to sigma P1 Q0 divided by sigma P0 Q0 into 100. So accordingly, we have to find out what is P1 Q0 and P0 Q0. So P1 Q0 is nothing but price of the current year multiplied with quantities of the base year. So 8 into 40, 320. Next 10 into 32, 320. 20 into 18, 360. 30 into 10, 300, and the total of P1 Q0, when we add up all these four values, it will be 1300. Similarly, let us find out what is P0 Q0. So we are multiplying the prices of the base year with quantities of the base year. So price of the base year 4 into quantity of base year 40, 4 into 40, which is 160, 20 into 10, 200, 12 into 20, 240, 8 into 30, 240, and the total of P0 Q0 is 840. Now we've got the required numerator and denominator for the consumer price index formula. So CPI is equal to 1300 divided by 840 into 100, which is 154.76, which means the prices in the year 1998 have increased by 54.76. The aggregate expenditure method. Next, let us look at the next method, that is family budget method. One thing to be kept in mind is that whether it is family budget method or aggregate expenditure method, the final answer remains the same. So here again we have all the four items: food, clothing, fuel, miscellaneous. We have the given values Q0, P0 and P1. And the formula for consumer price index changes here. It is sigma RW, that is price relatives into weights divided by sigma W. So R is equal to P1 divided by P0 into 100. P1, which is 8, divided by P0 4 into 100. So that is 200 when simplified. 32 divided by 20 into 100, which is 160. 18 divided by 12 into 100, 150. 10 divided by 8 into 100, which is 125. So we have found out R for each and every item. Similarly, they have given us the weights. We have given us, let us find out the weights for each and every item, which is P0 into Q0. 4 into 40, 160. 10 into 20, 200. 20 into 12, 240. 30 into 8, 240. And sigma W is 840. So we know R, we know W. Let us multiply them, which is RW. So 200 into 160, 32,000. 160 into 200, 32,000. 150 into 240, 36,000. 125 into 240, it is 30,000. And total of sigma RW is 1,30,000. Now we've got the numerator, which is sigma RW 1,30,000, and the denominator sigma W, which is 840. And when they are simplified, this consumer price index is 154.7. 1991. Now, if we look at both these methods, aggregate expenditure method and family budget method, the final answer is the same, which is 154.76. So this is how we solve problems on the basis of consumer price index under two methods. One is the family budget method and the other one is the aggregate expenditure method. Let's look at one more point here. Compute the cost of living index for the following data using family budget method. They're asking only one method here. And here they have given us directly the index number, which is nothing but the price relatives and weights, which means we've been given R as well as W directly. We need not find out R and W like in the previous question. So given us 5 different items: food, fuel, rent, clothing and miscellaneous. These are the index numbers and those are the weights. So R and W is given, and when we multiply R and W, this is what we get: 200 into 60, 12,000. 180 into 15, 2,700. 150 into 10,500. 120 into 8, 960. 7 into 130, 910. So total of W is 100 and the total of RW, that is sigma RW, is 18,070. And when simplified according to the formula, the consumer price index is 180.70, which means the prices have increased by 80.70%. So this is how we compute problems under the consumer price index method. We have two methods: aggregate expenditure method and family budget method. So with this, I hope. And how do we solve problems on these two methods? Thank you all.